Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
It's amazing to me how fast things change in the world of AI, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, barely a week goes by without some groundbreaking new development.
Yeah,
It's almost impossible to keep up with it all.
it is.
So today we're going to focus on one specific area, though, that I find particularly fascinating,
Okay.
and that is the idea of AI adaptability.
Interesting.
How these systems can actually learn new information and update their knowledge without needing to be completely retrained.
Right.
It's like, um, imagine if you had to relearn everything you knew about, I don't know, history,
Mm.
every time a new historical event happened.
Yeah,
That's kind of the situation that a lot of AI models have been facing up until now.
right.
But we're starting to see some really interesting advancements that are changing that.
Absolutely.
One in particular that we're going to talk about today is something called ALAMA,
ALAMA, yeah.
which stands for Adaptive Language Model with Auxiliary Memory Access.
Right.
Catchy, right?
Very descriptive.
Yeah. So maybe you can start by explaining a little bit about what ALAMA is and why it's such a big deal.
Sure. So ALAMA is basically, it's a type of large language model, or LLM.
Okay.
And these are basically the brains, you could say, behind a lot of the AI systems that we interact with today.
Okay.
Chatbots,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
And traditionally, one of the big challenges with these LLMs is that, like you were saying, they're very difficult to update with new information.
Yeah. I mean, you practically have to start from scratch, right?
You often have to retrain the entire model, which can be incredibly time-consuming and expensive.
Right. Yeah, no kidding.
So what ALAMA does is it introduces this idea of an auxiliary memory,
Okay.
which is basically like a separate knowledge base that exists alongside the main LLM.
Okay, so it's kind of like an add-on.
Exactly. And this memory can be constantly updated with new information, as it becomes available.
Okay, so that's the auxiliary memory part.
Right.
But how does ALAMA actually access and use that information?
So that's where the adaptive retrieval part comes in.
Ah, yes.
ALAMA has these really sophisticated algorithms
Uh-huh.
that allow it to quickly and efficiently search through this massive memory
Okay,
to find the relevant information that it needs in a given situation.
got it. So it's kind of like a supercharged search engine.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. But even with all that, doesn't ALAMA still need to somehow integrate that new information into its core programming?
That's a great question, and that's actually what makes ALAMA really special.
Okay.
It doesn't need to retrain itself in the traditional sense.
Interesting.
Instead, it uses something called in-context learning.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What's in-context learning?
It's a way for the model to learn and adapt from new information without actually changing its core code. It's almost like how we as humans might learn a new word by understanding its meaning from the context of a sentence.
Right.
We don't have to go back and rewrite our entire understanding of language just to accommodate a new word.
Right, it just kind of fits in, yeah.
Exactly. And ALAMA can do something similar with new data.
Okay, so to sum it all up, ALAMA has this separate memory bank where it stores new information, it can quickly search through that memory to find what it needs, and then it can use that information in context without having to retrain its entire system.
Precisely.
This is pretty revolutionary, isn't it?
It has the potential to be, yes.
I mean, the possibilities are really exciting.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Like imagine a world where your virtual assistant actually learns and adapts to your individual preferences over time.
Right. Or medical AI systems that are constantly updated with the latest research findings.
Yeah, exactly.
So doctors always have the most up-to-date information at their fingertips.
I mean, that could be a game changer in so many different fields.
Absolutely.
Speaking of different fields, I know we've been focusing on ALAMA specifically, but this idea of AI adaptability is actually a hot topic in research right now.
It is.
And there are a number of other projects that are exploring different approaches.
Right.
You mentioned a couple of them before we started recording.
Yeah.
One was called Llama 3.8b Instruct 80K Kulora.
That's one, yeah.
And the other was Retrieval Augmented Adaptation for Vision Language Models.
That's another one.
I know those are mouthful, but maybe you could give us a quick overview of what those projects are all about.
Sure. So Llama 3.8b Instruct 80K Kulora, it's focusing on making large language models more efficient and adaptable.
Yeah, okay.
It uses a technique called quantization and low-rank adaptation, which basically allows you to compress the model's knowledge without sacrificing its ability to learn.
So it's like making it smaller and faster without losing any of its smarts.
Exactly.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
What about the other one, the vision language models?
So, retrieval augmented adaptation for vision language models. That one's all about helping AI systems that work with both images and text to better adapt to new visual information.
Okay, so like uh, if an AI sees a picture of a fruit it's never seen before,
Mm-hmm.
it can not only recognize it, but also understand like its properties and how it's used
Right.
just from seeing a few images.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff.
So, I mean, it's clear that this whole area of AI adaptability is just, exploding right now.
Yeah, it's a very active area of research.
But I'm curious, from your perspective, what are some of the biggest impatiens of all this?
Well, I think one of the most interesting things to consider is how this might change the way we as humans learn and stay informed.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
If AI can keep up with the constant flow of new information, does that change the way we approach education
Right,
or professional development?
right. Do we even need to memorize facts anymore?
Exactly.
If we can just, you know, ask our AI assistant for the information we need whenever we need it.
It really raises some fundamental questions about the nature of human intelligence and how it might evolve in the future.
Yeah, that's something to really think about.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're entering a new era of, I don't know, cognitive collaboration or something,
Yeah, absolutely.
where AI becomes this essential partner in helping us navigate an increasingly complex and ever-changing world.
It's going to be fascinating to see how it all unfolds.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive, but it's clear that this conversation is just getting started.
Definitely.
So much to think about and so much more to explore.
Absolutely.
Until next time, thanks for joining us,
Thanks for having me.
and keep those brains buzzing.
Yeah.